eye of the storm, I'm the one who remains.
I don't want anything.
U.S. conducts new wave of strikes on Iran as ceasefire falters. The United States military has conducted another wave of strikes on Iran, a day after it launched a round of attacks, threatening a return to full-fledged war. The escalation on Wednesday, the most severe since both sides signed a memorandum of understanding in mid-June that ended the fighting.
Injection through my veins. I move like lightning. They just see the blaze.
Saw the U.S. launch attacks on the eastern Iranian cities of Iranshar, Bandar Abbas, Kanarik, Chabahar, and Bushehr, as well as Aqqa in northeastern Iran. One firefighter was killed in an attack on the Iranshar airport, state news agency IRNA reported. The U.S. military's Central Command, CENTCOM, said early on Thursday that it had completed an additional round of strikes against Iran.
Dissolving all my enemies in a haze. No hesitation, only pure violence.
To further degrade Iran's ability to attack commercial shipping and innocent civilian mariners in the Strait of Hormuz. CENTCOM said that 90 Iranian military targets had been hit, including air defense systems, coastal surveillance assets, missile and drone storage sites, naval capabilities, and military logistics infrastructure along Iran's coastline. Iranian officials had told the Fars news agency that attacks on Chabahar included strikes on a maritime control tower and a depot.
Turn their loud roar into total silence. One shot, one kill, that's the only way.
Iranian state media also reported that a railway bridge had been targeted in Aqqa. Hours after the U.S. strikes, air raid sirens sounded in Bahrain, and Kuwait's Ministry of Defense reported that the country's air defenses were confronting rocket and drone attacks. Iran's Revolutionary Guards later said they attacked 2 U.S. bases in Kuwait and 2 in Bahrain, adding that a future response could extend to other U.S. bases in the region if the U.S. continues its attacks.
Survivors left at the end of the day.
An abundance of caution.
Ibrahim Rezai, spokesman for the Iranian parliament's National Security Committee, had warned of a response after Wednesday's U.S. attacks. "Wait for the hard slap by Iranians," he wrote on X. The U.S. also conducted attacks on Iran on Tuesday, saying its strikes were conducted in response to Iranian attacks on 3 commercial vessels that were transiting the Strait of Hormuz.
Eye of the storm, I'm the one who remains.
That the
Adrenaline injection through my veins.
CENTCOM said it hit over 80 targets with precision munitions, before concluding the strikes approximately 4 hours after they had begun. 8 service personnel from the country's Air Force and Navy were killed in Tuesday's attacks, which struck the southern cities of Bandar Abbas and Bushehr, state news agency IRNA reported, citing a statement from the Iranian army. Both the U.S. and Iran have accused the other of violating the MoU, which ended the war, lifted the U.S. naval blockade on Iran, and opened the Strait of Hormuz.
Like lightning, they just see the blaze. Dissolving all my enemies in a haze.
But it left more intractable issues, like the future of Iran's nuclear program and the administration of the Strait of Hormuz, to be determined over a 60-day negotiating period. The key point of contention appears to be over the 5th clause of the MoU, which says that Iran will make arrangements using its best efforts for the safe passage of commercial vessels, with no charge for 60 days only, from the Persian Gulf to the Sea of Oman, and vice versa.
No hesitation, only pure violence. Turn their loud roar into total silence.
Iran has interpreted the provision to mean it had sole responsibility in determining arrangements for the safe passage of ships through the Strait of Hormuz, Foreign Ministry spokesman Esmail Baghaei said Wednesday. That position has been used to justify attacks on unapproved vessels transiting the strait. The MoU required the U.S. to lift its reciprocal blockade of Iran's ports, which it did, and it required the U.S. to waive sanctions for the Iranian sale of oil.
Shot, one kill, that's the only way. No survivors left at the end of the day.
Cut off all trade.
Which it did, and it required Iran to not interfere with civilian shipping in the Strait of Hormuz, David Desroches, former Pentagon NATO operations director, told Al Jazeera. When Iran attacked these ships, Tehran was trying to instill a new normal beyond the terms of the MoU, in which ships had to go through Iranian waters, and Iran would attack them if they did not, he explained. That's unacceptable to President Trump. So these strikes are a retaliation to that action, said Desroches.
Is that this war
Eye
that
of the
the
storm,
president...
I'm the one who remains. Adrenaline injection through my veins.
Following Wednesday's strikes, Mohammad Bagher Ghalibaf, Iran's parliament speaker, said the Strait of Hormuz will only open with Iranian arrangements, not American threats. America still hasn't learned that bullying and breaking promises are no longer cost-free. Let me put it plainly. If you strike, you'll get hit, Golubov posted on social media.
I move like lightning, they just see the blaze, dissolving all my enemies in
Al Jazeera's Kimberly Halkett, reporting from Washington, D.C., said the Trump administration has maintained that the MO requires unfettered passage to all vessels since the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding, opening that 60-day window to allow for broader negotiation. That's what we can say. Don't forget to support our channel by liking, commenting, sharing and subscribing. We thank you all for your support.
The Iranians
no hesitation, only pure violence, turn their loud